Hello everybody, my name is Julia and welcome to my channel. I'm filming videos for this channel every single day, so if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and I'll be seeing you every single day. So today is one of the formats where I do my makeup and I talk to you. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit something very personal to me, which is finding friends as an adult. Specifically, finding friends in LA. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I struggled a lot with it and I was so frustrated. I thought, nope, I'm not gonna find anybody. I'm gonna be a lonely kid in this country and I'm not gonna find any friends in LA, which I did. I found friends. I am very happy with my community right now, and I just wanted to share how I did it because I struggled so much. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was like one of the sensitive topics for me because I thought, oh my god, like I am so new to this country, I don't have friends, and also I'm an adult and looking for friends as an adult is like one of the hardest thing to do. And I know like there are apps and Facebook groups and like just communities in general that bring people together in order to find friends and community, but that did not really work for me, and I'm gonna tell you my story today. This is my coffee, the third. This is a very like spontaneous video. I didn't plan it. I'm just gonna go with the flow and tell you what I think, and I'm gonna tell you like my story and how did that work for me. It's not specifically like tips and like what to do because every single person is different and every story is very different, but I'm just gonna tell you my story and how that worked for me, and maybe it will work for you. Let me get my foundation first. Okay, Rare Beauty foundation, I love that one. I'm just gonna start with saying that I am not American. I moved to America in 2022 by myself, and it was quite of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. It was quite an adjustment for my mental state, and just as the language was different. People were so different, the culture was so different, and it was really hard to adjust once you're not a kid and you don't have anybody here, which was very hard because once you're moving to, for example, to another country, and you do have your partner, you have your best friend with you, you have somebody to go to. Like, for example, you know, your uncle lives in Italy and you go to Italy, and that's a very different experience from when you're coming to another country by yourself, right? So I came to America by myself in 2022 and I was completely shocked because in my culture, let's say, we have different values. We approach friendships differently. In Russia, we value friendships differently. For example, we are friends, right? And we not just call each other friends, which I don't get. One of the things that I don't get. Like, if we call each other friends and like, you're my friend, I am your friend, we sort of commit to each other and kind of like help each other out if something goes wrong, and if somebody's in trouble, I know that they got my back. Whether here it's sort of different and it's more of a like, we are nice to each other when we're together, but when we're not together, it's kind of like it doesn't mean anything, right? So like, and that was one of the things that I really did not understand at first. I faced my first kind of like cultural shock because people were just like nice to me, but when it comes to, you know, hanging out and meeting outside of, for example, you know, where we met, it might not happen. In that matter, it was very, very hard. I moved to New York at first. Now I live in LA, but I moved to New York at first. And honestly, like, I just couldn't find really people. It was just kind of like superficial in my understanding, because it was kind of like we're friends but we're not friends. And I found people in New York, like, don't get me wrong, but it was just not in a way I'm used to friendships. And the only people I found were kind of like either in my school and I tried to find people outside of my school because I went to acting school, which is another kind of conversation. I'm gonna tell you about it later. But I tried to look for people outside of school. I tried to go to Facebook meetups, social girls in New York, getting breakfast at Central Park, all that kind of stuff. There was a community of girls in New York, which is like they have it on a different app, and they have meetups every week. They kind of connect girls here and there, and I tried to connect with some of them, and literally like nothing that I would want to continue. I noticed that as a person who comes from a different country, people who never been outside of America, for example, they don't really get me. And I really value that. Like, I really value when people get like my background and where I'm coming from, you know, and actually understand what I'm going through in this country, because it's not simple and it's not like very easy. But it was like such a different level of friendship for me, and I really couldn't find like real connections, like really, really strong connections. I could not find them. Even though I made so many attempts, I went to those meetups, I went to, you know, networking events, tried to network outside of school. In school, like, I tried so many ways and none of them worked. So New York era was like 9 months, and it was like one of the loneliest eras in my life, because back at home I had so many friends. Like, I was never lonely. I never felt that in my entire life. And when I came here, that was the constant feeling I had. I was so lonely. The only people I could call were, you know, thousands and thousands miles away from here. And that was very challenging. And honestly, I thought, how do people look for friends? Like, isn't it a thing? Like, do people get lonely? And I figured, yeah, like, people do get lonely. Not only me as an immigrant. I moved here by myself. I didn't have anybody here. I do not have any, you know, network and people around. But no, not only me. I met so many people who go through the same thing, even though they were born and raised in America, for example. They were born and raised in another state, or they were born and raised in that state. They just don't have a lot of friends around. And that is so sad, in my opinion, because I noticed that people struggle with making connections and committing to others, which kind of like I can't really relate to, because once I have my friend, and that's what I saw on TikTok, like Slavic girls, their take on friendships, like, if you're my friend, I'm literally gonna die for you. Like, it's the way it works. But kind of here, it's a very different approach, which I'm still trying to adjust to and still trying to understand how that works. But yeah, that was kind of my first couple months in America. Not a couple, like 9 months. It's quite a bit. That was my New York era, and seriously, like, I left New York with, I think, like 2-3 like real connections. All the rest of it was pretty like not it. Like, I don't even talk to these people anymore. But yeah, once I came to LA, that was kind of different, because in school I still tried to make connections, and I went to AMDA, College of the Performing Arts, which is an acting school. And if you've ever been around actors, you know that these people are very specific. They are very specific, and sometimes not in the best way. So it is pretty hard to make friends in these circles. But I started making friends, like real friends that I was dreaming of, when I started to connect with my community, specifically Russian speaking people. And that's when I started actually making real connections. But the thing with that is not only me, like I know so many Americans whose friends are actually foreign people, like, and that's how kind of it works. I met so many Americans who are just like, you know what, all of my friends are Eastern European, or all of my friends are from Europe or from Asia, and that's so weird because I'm American, like, but I'm like, yeah, because people who come from other countries, they bring other kind of understanding of friendship and another level of commitment. What I'm saying with that is that we wouldn't cancel last minute. We wouldn't kind of make you wait. We wouldn't make you, we wouldn't ghost you and all that kind of things that are not okay for me, but so okay for a lot of Americans, which I also like. I do get it, like, don't get me wrong, like I do get the culture and the the perception of friendship here, but for me, specifically for me, that does not work. So when I started to hang out with Russian speaking community from Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, I kind of I made so many friends. Like, it's not even a joke. Like, all of my community here and all of my friends here are Russian speaking right now. And I am so happy with that. If you've seen any of my videos, I take voice classes, and my vocal coach is Russian speaking, and he brings a lot of a lot of people together, and these are like the best people I met so far in America. Like, they're so cool, and that's how I found a lot of my friends. Also, how I found some of my friends was actually roommating with people was one of the greatest things that I experienced, because you spend so much time with your roommates that you eventually become friends. And pretty much all of my roommates were not Russian speaking, so I do have non-Russian speaking friends, but they are from Europe or Middle East, so it's kind of like also different. I figured that we all value different things in friendships and just connections in general. And so that was kind of what I wanted. So I would say that the best way possible to connect with people is to spend a lot of time with them. Of course, you need to have the same values and have the same kind of like level of life in order to connect deeply. And that's so funny because I'm 23 years old, and all of my friends are like 28 plus, which is so funny. I'm the youngest everywhere, and I kind of like that because I love to talk to people who are smarter than me, who are better than me, who are, I don't know, freer than me, and who build their career already. And I learned so much from them. And that's kind of one of the things that I needed, because when I talk to my peers or people who are younger than me, I could not connect with them because of how different our life perspective is. Because I'm coming from another country, I moved here by myself, I have a couple of like things that I already experienced, whether people who are just like graduating from high school, this is going to be a completely different level of understanding things and like understanding life. So I really value older kind of people, not like an older in a way that like, yeah, they're physically older, but like in their mindset. And kind of, if you're looking for friends, I would suggest to kind of, if you value the same things that I do, probably like go somewhere where these people go to. And communities, learning about something, studying somewhere, always brings people together. These people are going to be, interested in movies or books or anything that you're interested in. It's hard, I know, but you need to find a community of people who are interested in the same things that you're interested in. And if you're into entertainment, for example, look for, if you're looking for a job right now, maybe look for something that you can't meet a lot of people during the day and be within people who kind of are better than you. So if you have any communities around you, I would suggest to just go there, look around, see who goes there, and be proactive in terms of friendship, because friendship doesn't work like spontaneously like that. You cannot instantly meet a person and be like, oh, we're friends. No, you need to actually devote time, get to know the person, spend time together, and that's how you're gonna know if they're your people or not. These are the things that I learned by just not having friends around, and all of my friendships were my childhood friends, weirdly enough. But once I moved here, I started learning about adult friendship a lot. And one of the things that I learned is that if you want real friends, you need to invest in this friendship. And that's real, you guys. Like if you want to have any relationship and any like great relationship and build a relationship with somebody, you need to invest in that. And I mean it, like you need to text this person, you need to make sure like your communication is going somewhere, you're building your you're getting closer, you are building your trust, and it's like mutual. It has to be mutually. If it comes from one person and the other person literally ghosts the other, like it's not gonna work. And one of the things that like not a lot of people talk about is that if you're looking for new friends, if you're looking for connections and you're literally ghosting everybody on the on Instagram, I don't know, friends are not gonna appear. Friends are not gonna, like, you won't have that many friends if you cannot invest in your friendship. Like, sorry to say that, but you're not gonna have friends. If you can't, think of other person on their birthday, if you can't literally like be there for the other person, I'm sorry to say, but it's not gonna work. Yeah, that's what I kind of experienced a lot. Like, I would text people and they would not reply, and I'm like, okay, if we can't make it on this level, how are we gonna make it further? So it's like, yeah, if you want to have friends, please be there for them. If you want to have money, please work. Like, it's that simple. And I kind of experienced that a lot of people don't understand if they don't kind of reply, if they don't devote their time to meet up with somebody, like, they are going to be lonely, unfortunately. That's rough, but that's my take on it. That's how I found all of my friends. I'd be like, yeah, can we meet today? And like maybe next week, and do we go there? Do we plan this? And they'd be like replying. So it went from there. And if you struggle with making friends, maybe try communities of people who actually like immigrants like me, because immigrants are very dedicated to building connections here, since we don't have a lot of connections in this country. If you like singing, go to singing classes, group singing classes, for example. If you like pottering, go to a pottery class that runs every week, for example. If you like doing makeup, go to a makeup class, or any classes that you might take might be very beneficial for you. And also, like, you can meet people who are interested in the same thing that you are. Facebook meetups or any meetups out there, honestly, I tried so many. I tried Bumble BFF, I tried like just different apps. And 222, I think there is another app that is like viral right now. I wouldn't recommend. Like, honestly, from my experience, I wouldn't say it was the best. Didn't make any friends from that. But you know, if for some people that works, and meetups and, you know, group hikes and, you know, all that stuff works, well, why not? But I would recommend something that runs every week, so you kind of see that person every week and you get to know each other every week, and that's how you're gonna build, you know, the connection. Other than meeting with that person once, talking for 15 minutes, then following each other, and then that's it. Like, it stops over there. So if you want to kind of build the network and make real friends, I would suggest to go somewhere that runs every week or like twice a week, so you kind of see each other and have something in common going. And that's very, very helpful, because we're not kids anymore. We are adults, and we have to make friends differently, and like make them in a different way. All right, so I did my makeup. I'm ready to go and film a vlog for this YouTube channel. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Any insights that you have. I'll be happy to read them all. And yeah, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you tomorrow.